nsfw, Tifu by beating my wife and getting sexually assaulted in return. This happened just a few minutes ago. My wife's face is still a mess and I'm sitting here with an ice pack on my dick. Alternate account because I don't want my family reading this. An amp, #X200B. So my wife and I were trying to get in the mood tonight. It's been a rough couple of weeks, as I am sure it has been for everyone. I'm a physician dealing with coronavirus at work while experiencing a massive pay cut. Meanwhile, my wife's been working from home while managing the kids who have been home from school. Needless to say, we've had a lot of anxiety and stress on our plate, but we're committed to making time for each other. So we're getting in bed and she wants me to tie her up and tickle her. I get her in position and give her a little slap to get things started, and I mean a little slap. Suddenly, she starts crying. Initially, I thought it was a joke, but she just kept going. Within a few seconds she's sobbing. Tears are everywhere. I undo her knot and try to comfort her with little success. The floodgates open and she starts pouring out about her worries with the mortgage, my health, and on and on. After what felt like an eternity, she begins to calm down. Obviously, I'm no longer in the mood and I didn't think she was either, so I suggest we just go to bed. She feels guilty and insists we can still have sex. I tell her it's okay, let's just go to bed. We go back and forth about this for a bit. Then I start to roll away, but I guess in her guilt she grabs my pants and frantically starts to pull them down. Before I can stop her, she accidentally grabs my penis and yanks it like a lawnmower starter. I drop to the floor in agony and she suddenly realizes what she just did. So seconds later we're now both rolling on the bed crying. I ended up with a rug burn in a very sensitive spot, and after another eternity of crying, my wife's face is beet red and puffy. TLDR, I slapped my wife during foreplay and she cried. In her guilt for killing the mood, she tried to take my pants off and yanked on my dick, giving me a rug burn. Your home needs a soundtrack with those bonk and boink noises like on the Three Stooges. Imagining her going, NYEHHHY's guy, eh? Before ripping his off was a good little pick-me-up. Oh, this killed me, LMAO. You could say, she the wrong way. Lol. I showed this to my wife and she was not amused. Tell you her to not yank your chain. Slap comedy. Ouch for both. Kudos to you both for pushing yourselves to the limits of emotional exhaustion and still trying to get frisky. Maybe just try some firm cuddling next time. It. Fellow Cake Day Redditor. These days it doesn't take much for my wife and I to not be in the mood. It doesn't take much for your wife and I to be in the mood. That title was misleading us. Not misleading, just resume worthy. This why it's important to have safe words. May I suggest pumpkin, chrysanthemum, or Koviv? Ours is flower, but my wife keeps yelling, flower, plow her. Alright, if you insist. And GT. She accidentally grabs my and yanks it like a lawnmower starter. Holy face with tears of joy. That's gotta hurt, LMAO. Finish him. This is exactly why I don't use carpet samples as underwear. Carpet samples are like the everlasting gobstopper of toilet paper in these trying times. That's some clickbaiting title. Yeah, I'm a little pissed. It was funny because I mentally prepared myself for some dark. I read ice pack as ice pick and I've never been more relieved for a stranger. This made me laugh. Wrong lever cronk. Why do we even have that lever? I'm glad after all that you still had the wherewithal to run to Reddit and post mere minutes after the tragedy. Committed to the TNTIFU. Don't feel bad op. You clearly provided your wife with much needed emotional release. Sometimes this sort of game opens the floodgates and it's even more precious than getting frisky. Massive pay cut for hospital worker while working harder. Very likely could be real. Where I live, our premiere just weeks before COVID-19 hit doctors with the bunch of changes that lead to pay cuts. This was after laying off hundreds of nurses recently. So great situation to have during a pandemic. Hi Albertan. Yeah, I'll need to take a good old chill pill. Hey, this coronavirus is pretty dangerous. We should give it top research priority. So how are we on those pay cuts for physicians? What the is wrong with people? And GT, experiencing a massive pay cut. Alberta. This is Alberta. An aside, thank you for everything you're doing to help keep us all healthy, regardless of where you practice. Imagine your kids walking in on their parents like this. Maybe settle for a shower together next time. LMAO. All joking aside, I think it's awesome that you and your wife are, as you say, committed to making time for each other during this chaos that has become life. When this all blows over, you two deserve a childless weekend in a hotel, even if it's a nearby one. Both of you stay healthy, mentally and physically. Romance ain't dead, it's being murdered. And GT, so seconds later we're now both rolling on the bed crying. Ouch. This took a turn I didn't expect. That's more action than I've had in months. This is one of those clickbait articles where it's only half true, and only half of what is half true is true, but you still ultimately come out happy. As was a clickbait. Oh, look, an over-exaggerated title and a sexual situation. How unlike this sub. I beat my wife, but well actually not really, and she sexually assaulted me, but well actually not really, haha. Goka. Made you look. Directed by Robert B. Weide. I had to read this twice, purely for comedy factor. How wrong can go, you ask? This is how wrong it can go. It seems like that tiny slap was actually what she needed to let go of some emotions. This may have been some serious subdrop. If you don't know what that is, I suggest reading up on D's mechanics before tying her up and doing contact play. You did do the right thing eventually by providing her aftercare, but she shouldn't feel bad in killing the mood. Lots of people use BDSM to release those emotions, but it takes a good dom to help a sub through. Same with subs. Doms can dom drop too. It is more subtle, so a sub has to be aware of it as well, as it may not manifest until hours or days later. Clickbait title -1. The title is misleading, and sounds exactly like a YouTube title. I beat my wife and got sexually assaulted. Ha ha ha. PP tied up and PP got hurt. More. You two are the perfect match. Ha. For some reason I can just hear George Costanza telling this story. Why is it remost? Clickbait. SMH. It's freaking like a guy would trip and a guy would say Tifu by trying to kill myself. What's with all the clickbait edgelord titles? You didn't beat your wife and she didn't sexually assault you. WTF. Clickbait. I thought I was in Arkans initially. Classic Tifu. Clickbait title where the story isn't what you made people think it was, and surprise turns out it's about you tick all the boxes. None of this happened. I must read. I'm sitting here with an ice pack on my. I thought you were sitting with an ice pick in your. So I was definitely thinking WTF. I read ice pack as ice pick, and that would have been a very different story. Beyblade, let it rip. This was not what I expected to read. God, this is anti. Saving this for when I need to kill a boner. The lawnmower part was my favorite part of the story. NGL. That's a normal Tuesday for me. The real WTF is why are doctors getting pay cuts? Geez man, don't you think the title was a little overboard? I'm all seriousness though. I hope both of you are alright in all of your areas. A lot of people in the comments are mad over the clickbait title, but this story is just hilarious. You guys did your best. I prepared myself to read something pretty fucked up, but I'm glad it was funny instead, cause the last thing my brain needs is to be thinking about a fucked up Reddit story while stuck in the house. Bop it, pull it, Tifu by sex, haha. Gosh, that just made my day. Yanks like a lawnmower starter. Doctor, pay cut. Sounds like good old Alberta to me. The real fuck up here is you not realizing she needed a cuddle fuck. Also, you're a doctor and you just got a pay cut. What the actual? Why can't people on Tifu come up with better titles? Sad cringe. Tifu, ha, except you didn't beat your wife. TF, did I just read a made-up story with a misleading title? Did you slap her in the face, or this was physically painful to read? Or dude, title had me pissed off for a second, but then the story just made me feel real sad, grabs my and yanks it like a lawnmower starter. Just that mental image has me rolling a ha-ha. Slow clap. I can totally see this happening. Every little bit of it. Hoping for a better tomorrow for you and all. Good luck on the front line and thanks for all you're doing. Okay, not even 9 AM and I'm done with the internet for today. Like a lawnmower starter. Now that's creative. Oh dearie me. I'm simultaneously sorry for both of you and highly amused. Hope you both are gonna feel a little better soon. Thanks for sharing. I kind of needed the giggles. And Lieutenant 3.